and welcome to Journey with the Kellers. My name is Amanda Keller, and today we are going to be taking a pink Jeep tour through the Smoky Mountains. So we are in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So you guys come along with us and let's see what all we can see. We're taking the Roaring Fork tour. So let's see how this turns out.
Part of a group called Trucking Solutions Group.
We're just in a parking lot.
Yeah, just pretend that we're on the off-road course right now. That's what you're feeling. Not quite like that. Yeah? Again, it's when we go into their back parking lot. They've got it all set up.
Wow, that is a cool looking candy store.
Right? And it smells really sweet. Down to the mountain, down into town, they put in a railroad spur that went together. That's a place where it makes sense to me. Now in 1934, they no longer needed to do that. They take it all to route they were going to take. And so they went ahead and they pulled up their gas, put down the gas, they got the road that's on the other side of the river. A nice two-lane, two-way road that perfectly through the nice town over there. In the 1950s, cars were getting better. So what you could do is before you went into the town, you could stop and if you went from Pigeon Forge to Gallenberg, you're going to line up with some front answer. And you would go from Gallenberg to Pigeon Forge, you would go right through. And that's where the whole thing about walking in the tunnels started out from. People say, oh, I always walk because my grandpa walks. Yeah, grandpa walks because he didn't want to have somebody run over him. No, it was not that much. So there, you would insist on walking either Well, maybe we
Then they should call this Fast and the Furious Jeeps.
Now, this is an observation tower that they've got. They call it the tulip tree. Because the tulip poplar is our state tree. It's looking across over there to the bridge. They've got all the 50 state flags, and then the different. Yeah, and then the. They tell me this is the most popular place in town to get engaged these days. It's here on this bridge. I say I hope he brings a fake ring.
Right.
Makes sense to me. So all the flags. Isn't that beautiful?
That's very cool.
In the middle where the American flag is, that's where the section is that's glass. Anarchista is across the way there. I was never on this road before the fire, so I don't know. I just see the broken dreams that I drive by. And then here at the very corner, there's a souvenir from the fire. Do you know what temperature glass melts at?
Oh, wow. A lot.
Yeah, 1500 to 1800. Yep. I'm right?
Something like that.
Okay. All right.
My wife and daughter should know they did the glass blue.
Oh, okay. Did you do that at Dollywood?
No. Where'd you guys do that at?
We've done it in Peoria at home.
Okay. Now this house is on the right.
Okay.
Was skipped by the fire. You can tell by how close the trees are to it.
We walk across the bridge.
And that
Turrets.
is steel siding.
Yeah.
That is not wood. I've got a spot up here. I'm going to stop and let my parade go again. Here we go.
So with the fire here, is that why there's no trees?
Yes, that would be, yeah. All there is right now is kudzu. Do I have anybody else coming up behind me?
Nope, you're good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys are better than one of those cameras.
Because it's taking over a lot of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Crazy. Is it poisonous, like poison ivy?
No, from what I understand, it was brought in as goat feed. Why do you need to bring in goat feed?
That's the only thing that'll kill it too. That's what people just bring it in and they'll temporarily fence in 40
Right.
or 50 acres and let it loose, and then fence another 40 or 50 acres. They do clean it up pretty quick.
Right.
Man, it's so fast. So fast.
Here we've got the bottom 2 stories of what used to be a 4-story house. We don't believe in guardrails, in case you haven't guessed. Shoulders on the road are probably, heavily overrated. This one was skipped by the fire. You can see scorch marks up by their skylights.
Oh yeah.
The one over here that looks like a Frank Lloyd Wright is new since. There's 2 others above that. We're going to see those 2 later on. You'll see all of these that are new houses, and that one was skipped. Again, it's tucked up into the shoulder of the mountain, so that could just go right over the top. One of the things a friend of mine showed me is that when you look at the houses that were not burned, they had the leaf filter for the gutters, so they didn't have that fuel sitting up there. Quite the house, isn't it?
Asbestos siding,
Well, they can't, they can make it look like logs, but they can't get a log home insured that's newly built. steel siding. I will say I've seen bears on this road, bobcats, horse foxes, coyotes, and then those Himalayan squirrels. You guys have those Himalayan squirrels in South Carolina?
Who's the lion?
No, they're the ones that are Himalayan in the road.
Yeah.
Just walked you right into it, didn't
Yeah,
they?
you did.
We saw one of those on the interstate on the way here.
There was one day one of our other guys was behind me, and I came around this corner and I keyed up that light, and I said, Julie, I said, did you see that Black Panther cub? And her Jeep stopped. And pretty soon I hear her voice going, are you talking about the house cat? Oh, I'm so sorry. So now whenever I guess who know about this, we run into her on the tours, and they go, I saw 3, I saw 4. Tell her how many of those Black Panther cubs there's now.
I saw a video just from yesterday from Gatlinburg downtown. They said, probably not a this year cup, but a last year cup. Just walked into a restaurant and sat down and started eating some of it, right?
Oh my goodness.
Just yesterday.
Wow.
And they were a bunch of people just standing around, cops just standing around staring at it, going, what are we going to do?
Right? Well, and the problem is, you know, and it's fun. You know, people that are sitting there stop frowning, you know, and realize the fun that they're having. So you just be goofy. Something we look forward to. But here is where we are entering the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It's less than an hour, or less than a mile from the downtown craziness. I always tell people if you're looking for bears, you want to look for a black stump that moves, or that's sitting in the middle of the road. I tell people that bears are like old women. If you start off with a low reactive anger, you're reactive, not aggressive. Although the different colors of green that we've got almost 150 varieties of trees in this park. Hillside here where there's no trees on the right and all the left the trees are there. I'm sure they're farming for it flew off someplace else. And if you even think you see a bear, say something real quick so this time it's all into the net. I'm sorry, Dave. Sorry, don't trust me. How much bears weigh when they're born, the cubs? There, okay, 8 ounces is the answer that I've been given, so there you go. I would say a stick of butter. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so they breed in the summer, but their body doesn't start to develop the embryos until it's getting close to time to go into hibernation. if we're in colder weather. Here it's called torpor. But that's when their body starts developing the embryos. And their body will only develop as many embryos as it can feed. If there are extra embryos formed, they just go it's bodily waste. So that sounds to me like the solution for welfare. So we're coming up. People are not like, don't lie to these people to me. I'm thinking of it in the wrong place.
Do they get a lot of them hit on the road, or is it so curvy that people don't go fast enough to do it?
People aren't that smart. Yeah, they get hit out here on the road. There was a mother that got killed getting in the wheat. She got hit, and she had 3 cubs with her. They said the cubs were still trying to nurse onto her, and they scooped them up. And the TWRA just decided to rehome them and not let anybody know where they were, not do anything to help them, because there is a bear rescue in the area. The tree straight in front of us, sort of wonky looking, is a sycamore tree. And the sycamore tree is important because of the fact that that one is second growth. If it was an old growth one, it would take at least 3 of us to reach around the trunk. But they grow with hollow places in them. The mothers know where those trees are, and that's one of the places they prefer it again, is in the hollow tree. So they climb up there, they lower themselves in, and that's when they give birth. So you'll see a good place to look for the cubs is in those trees, because they know that is a safe place. But you notice there's almost no branches there, because they've all been broken off by the bears climbing on the weeds next to branches. Doesn't that look like beautiful farmland? Sure it does. Don't lie to me.
Tough farmland.
Yes. But they grew the drinkables. People see today, but I can see one through there. There are 3 different bear dens up in there, and because of that, how that's getting broken down, I can see some mountain laurels up there, but behind the mountain laurels, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing stone. But those originally were pointed out to me during December one year I was out here, and there was a lady out here taking pictures, and she showed them to me. So, and in December, they're easy to see. They're just jumping out at you. Mount Lodge and other places on the road. The bears like to come around through here because they know there's people getting things in and out of their car, and they might leave it behind accidentally.
The guy up in front of us has a German Shepherd in his truck. Either a German Shepherd or a mountain lion up here.
Very few. Very few, and I think it's because of the underbrush. You know, it's just, yeah. Cades Cove has quite a few deer there, and that's big fields. Oh yeah. Not that I know of. Right? Well, the reason they use the llamas for their pack train is because their hoof is the 2 toes versus the suction cup. And so it doesn't do as much damage to the trail.
Wow.
I'm sorry?
They're cute.
Yes, this is true. They have attitudes too. When you're looking this way, you're looking for a transparent tree. I know, what's a transparent tree, right?
It's not a big hole in the middle.
Yeah, sure is.
There's one.
That's it. You see it?
I got burnt out.
So that would have been a lightning strike because there's nothing else burned around it. And it would have burned just the sap. So they close this road at the end of November every year and open it back up in April. And that's the first thing I'm checking. Just to see if it's still standing. It's down and it's starting to restore. There's some pine trees that are growing there now that didn't grow there before because they're the kind that need that high temperature before they'll germinate. And I can't think of the name of the pine, what name of pine it is. I could make something up and go, oh yeah, okay. But I wouldn't do it right. So. That was one of the things they found in Yosemite too, was they were suddenly getting pine trees that they hadn't had before. So they just happens to be tiny groups.
I would think these other trees probably choke them out.
Right? This is the hemlock right here. And you can see that new growth. See that lighter color? And you see the one in the center that's been chewed on. You see any rhododendrons blooming here today. I did when I went up to the top of the mountain earlier. This is mountain laurel. Mountain laurel is in the same plant family as the rhododendron and azalea and magnolia. Just a whole family. First time I came in here, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm back in the Boga Shield. The Boga Shield is a national forest that's out in Washington State. Everybody had the same trees, the same plants, same critter. I forgot to mention when I was talking about bears that their ears don't grow after they're a year old.
Huh.
Right? So that's when you lose that fuzzy ear look and get to the one where it looks like it fits right alongside the head. There is a lady that puts excellent photos of the bears on Facebook. Her name's Claudine. And last year, she put up a video of two cubs nursing, and you could hear them purr while they nursed. I did not know that cubs purr. Mountain laurel blooming up there. Or they're just trying to, there's an overlook up here. So they may be trying to get parked. Right? I missed it. Sorry. No. Right. As little as they do for in, I mean, they keep it nice, but they also keep it restricted quite a bit. And this is.
Where's the water coming from?
It's underground springs.
Yeah. That's it. There's no ice on top of this one.
It's underground springs.
Someone else is
Yeah, it's just.
off to the right. Is that people or two toes instead of the suction cup? From the
Right.
from the wheels. Okay, got it.
Right, and
That's what that was. That sort of.
and that was what had been harming the trail.
Yeah.
So they found it does much less damage.
She just ordered pizza. So we'll see about the bridge. Especially if we can't go back to the I guess.
And she looked at me, she goes, those are my people.
The snow.
I was like, what? I'm like, okay. So we still have Bale's descendants living in the area. And then the other cabin that is here is the Regan place, Alfred Regan place. And his descendants still have the Alfred Regan Pancake House and Convention Center. Again, same family.
Goes back because that's why the other day you probably was losing water.
You're smarter than I look, right?
Some of these people back here do not look prepared to be hiking.
They've already walked up the hill once.
Two of these.
They knew this was here.
Under the other one for 2:30.
Ooh, ticket for sure. Challenger that was backed in off the road like that, and they left the bumper on the road.
Oh yeah. They didn't realize how much they could break down on those.
Yes.
It's expensive lesson.
Yes. I one time was going on the George Washington Bridge, and the woman that was next to me decided she was going to cut me off, and she pulled in front of me. Her bumper hit the ground, and she's like, "Well, where'd you come from?" I said, "I'm the truck you drove around." And she said, "Well, don't show my husband." I said, "Here," and I shoved the bumper into the back seat. Take it with you. You know what this is? This is.
I was gonna say it's a trick question because it appears to be a stream.
It's an invisible waterfall.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't see it. That's what makes it invisible. This is where I always talk about our salamanders. We have the salamander capital of the world. We have more varieties than any other one place. The park department asks people not to play with the stones. Don't build stacks. Don't move them around. Don't skip them. Because you're disturbing the salamander's home when you're doing that. I think it's like having somebody come to your house and turn your toilet paper roll the wrong direction. Do you ever want to see them again? They can stay home. You can have that backwards toilet paper.
Almost walking to the bottom of this trail. You're gonna walk right through it.
Well, they've already watched up.
Oh, okay. So now they're on their way down.
They're on their way down. Thanks, guys. If you look down there, you'll see a waterfall.
Oh yeah.
I can't figure out how I know that's there because it's behind me. So the only thing I can figure is one of the 3 times I managed to get lost on the one-way road, I must have been going the wrong direction.
Where does this water end up?
This ends up in the river downtown Pigeon Forge, in the Little Pigeon River. Actually, it ends up in the Gulf of Mexico, but that's where it's going to first. The northern part of the Little Pigeon River. And have you noticed when you've been driving in town that if you see the road sign at a signal that 5 and 6 are the same intersection. There is no 7, there is no 9, but there are 8 and 10. I have tried to get a hold of the Count from Sesame Street. I think he's the one who's got the help we need. Right? Somebody's got to help us. So this is where Bale's cemetery, family cemetery, is up that trail there. This is the Jim Bale's place. Nice barn and corn crib. His house was built with lumber, like these others, but he didn't know you had to treat it to preserve. He was used to log, so his house actually rotted away. They moved this cabin over here from Cage Cove because there it was being encroached upon by trees.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, then it took a
too. Shouldn't have been. I went to the thing with my mother and daughter that were next to each other, so they split and went out to opposite sides. And I was like, you think you could both walk on the same side? And mother goes, nobody can hear you. And I said, yeah, that's why I'm asking you to walk on the same side. So this is the Jim Bales part. Over here on the left, this is Ephraim Bales. Ephraim was the older brother. And he farms 37 acres. Raised 9 children. It was interesting. Yeah, we're not stopping for this either. But on the other side is the road that goes to Gatlinburg. And on that side, he put in a very, very expensive fence. So people coming up that road would look and say, oh, that's a rich family. And by expensive fence, we're saying it was lumber. So they cut the trees, taken them into Gatlinburg and possibly even Knoxville in order to find a lumber mill, someplace that they would get them cut and planed, and brought them all back and assembled them out here. So they had that nice lumber fence on that side so people know how rich they were. And I told that story to my friend, and she goes, that sounds just like Uncle Ephraim. I was like, okay. That was the story I was given. I just thought I'd chat. How did they do that, huh?
When did they buy the houses? What year was that?
That would have been 1920s into the 1930s.
So are there any kids alive, or are they all gone?
Well, they're scattered, but they're still in the area. Yeah.
Maybe grandkids mostly, right?
Well,
Great-grandkids.
right.
But you could possibly have a child, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, from what Barbara said. So. Please be patient. Okay. Nine kids. You can see it, huh? They were a very close family.
Very close.
God, I raised 5 and I had to have a bedroom for each one. There's no way.
Right? I'll get you there down here this swimming hole.
The boys shared one for a couple of years.
Right?
Swimming hole. This swimming hole's gonna be cold.
Yes.
It's a cold swimming hole.
In the summer, they say it gets all the way up to 55.
Woohoo!
You can hear it down there. See the left there? I always call it the laundromat.
People throwing all over those stones like their ankles won't break.
Right. Oh. And I'm one of those that breaks very easily. I've got full time in the computer therapy. And when I was in the corner of my eye, eyebrow, in the corner of the green chair, making the piece. When I came to, my face was in the public way. So sure I broke my nose. I didn't. I broke both cheekbones.
No, jeez.
One of the cleanest dreams I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I would still treat the water though. One of the fellows I went through training with had lived by foraging for 2 years. And he would treat that water like it was doing something. Coming up on the Uncle Reagan place, Mr. Reagan knew that his neighbors were all busy growing corn and that they would need to process it. So he decided he was going to grow himself a gristmill. And then he would grind his neighbor's corn for them in exchange for percentage. If you get all invested in it, you can imagine where we are out here in the plume is down here, and you can see it actually goes, the bottom is up here. Down here. This was taken out a couple years ago in the other part. They got it in back up here. Same way it used to be. There's a living gallery. And then this way. Isn't that amazing? So that was built in 1930. They've taken out the wheel and the grinding stone for the rock. So his house is up there on the hill. You see what the front yard looks like? That's what this road used to look like. And so he knew that he had to treat the house. And luckily at that time, Sears and Roebuck had 3 colors of paint. So there we are. PJ, we're passing you. PJ, bye. That's okay. You can find your way home. So they used all those colors of paint. He had 11 children in that house. In addition to grinding the corn for his neighbors, he found out what supplies they needed. And about once a month, he'd go all the way into Gavin, which was a one-day trip just to get there. And go shopping for his neighbors and bring it back and go into Gavin, pay back a little bit each month. And usually that's the front way to the store out there. And when I say that it was a full day to get into Gatlinburg, you figure you saw what the road looked like, what the front yard looked like, all those rocks. So you would have had only a single axle cart. You wouldn't have a 2-axle wagon because of how the 2 axles would tear up. You know what I'm saying, Joe? You know exactly why I've got that theory in my head. There's no way you could do that. So you would have the single axle cart and bring them back. Right? PJ, you got a copy on me?
What is going on?
Yeah, we've got a flat tire off the road. You can get past them. You just got to make sure that you're heading to understand that you've got drive past. Yeah.
One flat tire is bad enough. 2 flat tires.
That's not the truck. It's alright.
Tried to do a genie. Yep. Looks like they're planning on helping. It'll work. Right. It probably is.
it does.
But I think it's a pretty spot. Yeah, one of our newer guides told me it was airborne off of that. G-Packs. Some air going across the mountains, and I had a couple of big old ones sitting in the back corners. I don't know if you guys caught Joe mentioning that day that there was, it looked like there's something that's going to come flying down. Probably some dead fall and stuff. Right? Here, 2 years ago, I could not see that road. That road was not inside 2 years ago. You can see all of this greenery and everything that's come down off of there as it's changing, because that's what it's going to do. Picture my motorhome. I was right behind her. She did not leave a mark on either rock. I said it was either the end of the mountain or the beginning. The first time I came through here, there's no green stuff on the tree. You see the tree that goes in an angle and has the vine paralleling it? And it goes all the way down, and the root is down into the crevice. Now, by the next year, everything has started shifting. And it's not just that one root ball in the crevice, it's everything else on top of it. It's now to the point where you can see all the way through to the other side of the rock. Isn't that cool? I get so excited about it. And you can see straight on through. I've had two different geology professors on TV that I've been able to see until now there's a root ball. The earthquake is 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't tell the difference. I could have had a 12.2 earthquake. You know, and the difference is so slow. But because we're not in here from November to April, it's easier to see the change. Right. Right. This is what nature does. You know, I had one fellow. He said, well, he said, no, that's not really happening. It takes 10 million years for something like that to happen. And I said, yeah, we're in the year 10,000,001. Because I'm seeing it. I'm glad we didn't really stop keep doing it. We wanted to stop doing it. Right? Sir, so you know, that is an active bear den up there in the corner.
Okay.
See that spot? Yeah. That is an active bear den. Mom with two cubs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's actually one.
I'll bet.
You're welcome. And don't you just wonder?
Now we might hear on the news tonight about them disappearing.
Yeah. There was one day I pulled up there, there were 4 vans all out of Missouri. One fellow like that one, everybody else was up on there. I explained it to him. I said, when you see that down dog with the stripes on it, that's a you are not welcome here, man. It's the bear letting you know. And he goes, well, there's no sign. I said, yes. Yes, because there's somebody posted on Facebook that they found a really good picnic spot on the Orange Road. Right across from the waterfall, and room set up by table and chairs. And then they set their food out between 2 bears. And I was thinking, no, really? What if those bears find their way? And I'm so one of our guys actually saw the bears walking across the property. As we go through the fight in Orange Road, and we'll be leaving the national park. One mountain, another one. That one, this one, that one. She didn't let him back in that motorhome until they went on the next 2 tours. This is private property. Been in the same family for over 80 years. They lease the road right away to the park. About 25 acres. Definitely not. Definitely not. They keep bees. They have a wedding venue. They have cabins for them. The small stores consist of locally produced items. There's very often a glass bowl working out here. Somebody with boiled peanuts a lot of the time. Built ladies out here trying to sell. Of course, the first time I stopped in and I went into the store and Miss Ruth was sitting in her spinning wheel making yarn. The sign next to her on the chair saying, "Do not touch cat." She said that was much cheaper than cleaning up the bowl. Somebody's just backing up, so we'll be able to go in. Because we are going to go in, be able to go in and use the restroom and pick anything up. Time-wise, we have about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So if we're back here right around 3, that would be very helpful. So somebody did get rid of it, huh?
Its name is Donut. Oh, okay.
So that's where they braced up the tunnel and lowered the roadbed to make room so 2 cars could pass in the tunnel at a time.
Oh,
So you can imagine what it would have been like sitting up that much higher. We would have been in trouble. Uh-oh, that other pink Jeep is catching us. I knew PJ wouldn't let me go ahead of him.
How do they have their top shut?
Did they have their sides shut?
Yeah.
Wow.
must not have wanted the dust.
So the first time my youngest son did this was the day before he was born. Well, doctor told me go do something. My husband had bought a brand new Dodge Ram Charger the night before. Let's go. There's a race that's held in the Mojave every February. It's a 3-day race by invitation only, and that son has taken part in that race.
Oh, wow.
In a Jeep that he built.
Oh, wow.
There's a bear.
Hello, little bear.
On the shagbark hickory.
Yep.
Good eye. Let's go to Dollywood. Hands in the air.
Big hell no. Did you really?
The next bear we'll see will be the pink one.
Hey. Are you still there? Okay. Your way. Where are you? Okay. I was trying to protect them, but they won't fall through. We go right back by it. By Dollywood. No, there is a farm.
Butterflies with us. Okay, thank you, Dolly.
There,
That's a big fly on the window.
more the place where it's right behind
Are you glad you're not in the back? Right?
Exactly. Oh, there's another bear.
Right?
Miss Jeannie?
Yes?
I do have my wife on the phone.
Right?
And she said if you could drop us at that Burger King, she would be very grateful.
At the Burger King that's right. Oh,
Right across here. We're staying at the
oh,
yeah.
oh, definitely. Do you want me to? Are you staying there at the
At
Hearts?
Dollywood, yes ma'am.
At the Hearthstone?
Yes ma'am.
I can take you right there. They're used to seeing me.
Alright. Love you, bye.
Yeah, I can take you right there.
When you said that, I was trying to get a hold of her, but my text wasn't going through. And
Right.
I finally got a hold of her.
Yep. Yeah, so you're at the Heart Song or the Greenmore?
We're at the Heart Song this time.
Okay.
We were at Three More last time. They
Okay.
had just opened up
Right?
Heart Song and we couldn't get a room there, so
Right? Yeah, I'll make sure they know we're going to do that.
thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Right.
Another bear.
Are you approving the way I drive the Jeep?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I was just saying that those hills show off the departure and approach and
Right? Right? And then we have the logs. You noticed how quickly I went.
Nicely done.
Thank you. When you get one of those magic cards in your box and they email you, let them know you thought it was a good foot, that I knew what I was doing. You know? It's not like we've got somebody that doesn't know it. Yeah, my oldest son, his thing is the Bronco 2s. Last count he had 6. And a 69 F350 that he built a bed on so that he could tote the Bronco 2 that sits on 44s. That he only plays within the woods.
The thing about them is they're a dime a dozen.
It's harder to find them with the curved windows, you know, that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, when they were first coming out with the new Bronco, I was like, at that time he had 12. I said, are you going to trade in all your old Broncos for one? He was like, nope. Keeping the one. All right. Luckily it hasn't rained today, so the water shouldn't be any higher than it was when I last went across the bridge.
Oh, wow.
You see the bridge?
No?
Oh yeah, there's a bridge. It's pink. It's got glitter. It's made with crystals. It's got those butterfly wings, so we honor Dolly. See that? Do you see that beautiful bridge? Because as long as everybody sees the bridge, we'll be good. We'll be on the bridge. If you don't see it, we're going to be on the slide. What are we doing? Are we going to see the bridge?
I see the bridge.
There we go. Yeah, so do I. Of course, I was the one that did the drugs.
411 entering the bear track. 411 entering the bear track.
Yeehaw!
Just didn't want to believe in that bridge, did you? Okay, anybody need to use it now?
Nice outhouse.
Oh.
I'm guessing they put that there because you got your knee scared out of you going down that hill.
Well, that's the point of it.
Some animals chewing on a cedar.
Oh yeah, I think it's deer. They think it's squirrels that are chewing on them. Some of them they chew on, some of them they don't. There has been a 6-point buck in this area, but I haven't seen him this week.
Breakover is where the Highlanders struggled.
Right?
So long.
Yeah. People have asked me if I was going to bring my Gladiator over here, and I'm like, no. I would hate to see what it would do to the undercarriage of that. No. That thing's been, it's never been off-road. It was owned by a little old lady.
Joe took our brand new Highlander four-wheeling up through the mountains a year after we bought it.
Right?
I was like, if you damage that thing, I'm so gonna hurt you.
I made sure I never bought one on my own.
Okay, you guys, so that is it for this video. That last little part was actually like a real 4x4 track that they took us on. It was really a rough and bumpy ride, but it was really fun. So you guys can go check out the Pink Jeep tours. They're in Pigeon Forge, they're in Branson, I think they're in Las Vegas, they're in a couple other places. They're actually pretty cool and really fun. We had a great time. So that's it for this video. We will see you next time. I hope you guys liked it. Like and subscribe if you like, or don't if you don't. Everyone have a good time. Enjoy your trips, your vacations, whatever else you're doing out there. And we will see you the next time. Bye.